Heyo. So, I don't even know where to start. I think I am 11, almost 12 weeks pregnant. Today is a Tuesday, and I think, by my calculations, my, next, I don't even know, the next week of pregnancy begins on a Thursday for me. So, I'm 2 days away from what I think is me being 12 weeks pregnant. Now, that being said, I called the clinic last week to make my first OB appointment, and they told me that they thought last week that I was like 12 weeks and 4 days or something when I called, which would then put me, maybe that wasn't even last week. I don't even know. They basically think that I'm like almost 2 weeks ahead of what I think I am. And I know why they think that, because the only question they asked me was, when was your last period? So I gave them the dates, and they go by the dates of your period, and that's it. Now, this time around, not to get too deep into stuff, but this time around, trying to get pregnant, so I had my period, and then a long time went by before I got a positive ovulation test. And the first time I tried with an ovulation test, when I got pregnant with Isla, it came like clockwork, like 14 days later after my period ended. Just like the box pretty much said it would. And so it came, like, I got my smiley face, I got an empty circle every single day, and then one day I got my smiley face, boom, pregnant. And that was it. And I know that was it because, then I went on vacation, and my husband and I did not go on vacation together, so we were not together, so we did not have sex like any other time, except for that one day that I got a smiley face. So I know that was when I conceived my daughter. And then with my son, it was kind of the same thing. Like, I knew when I got pregnant, and I think that it's kind of interesting that the clinic doesn't ask those questions, because I know that they can't necessarily tell you exactly what day you conceived, but for some people, and I know I'm not the only one, who keep very careful records and track of all of those things, we could pretty much pinpoint, within a 3-day period, I guess, of when I got pregnant. So anyway, I know what day I ovulated, or got a positive ovulation test that I was going to be ovulating or was ovulating. I know when I had sex, and I know when I didn't have sex. So it's it either happened this day or it didn't happen at all. So I know when, but anyway, the amount of time between my period and that positive ovulation test was a lot longer than 14 days. It was almost a month. It was crazy. I started thinking maybe I had missed something on the test, but I was keeping track. Anyway, so I think that's why I think that, because I'm going based off of my ovulation date, or assumed conception date, and I don't think I'm off on that, but we will see. I called the clinic, and they wanted the receptionist who does the OB scheduling. I had asked her if I could do an ultrasound on my first OB, and she's like, well, we don't do ultrasounds on the first one because you just come in and do a blood test. And I was like, we're past needing a blood test. I'm not calling because I just got a positive test this morning. I got a positive test 3 months ago, so I know, or 2.5 months ago. I'm very much pregnant. We don't need a blood test to prove it. But so then I was telling her, she's like, well, how far along do you think you are? Why haven't you been in? And it was because I'm chilling. I don't need to run into the clinic. It's my third baby. I'm not in a rush. if I felt like something was wrong, then yes, I would go in, but I don't. So anyway, the appointment is made. I am going to have an ultrasound be like at the clinic before I meet with my doctor. So I will kind of I'll get that out of the way, and we'll get the ultrasound all cleared up, and it's the dating scan, which is good, and that's why I wanted it. And especially when she was saying, well, we think that you're 2 weeks, you know, or like whatever, they thought I was 12 weeks, I thought I was 10. And I was like, well, even more reason to get an ultrasound, because then we can do the measurements and we can figure out exactly, like, just pinpoint better where we think I'm at. So that's a plan, and I'm very excited for that. And so that being said, all that being said, I think I am almost 12 weeks. The clinic thinks I'm almost 14 weeks. I don't really care, doesn't make a difference to me, but until I have that appointment, I'm just gonna go with what I believe, and if that changes, then it changes, and I basically just skip ahead 2 weeks in my pregnancy. But anyway, so I think my last update was when I was 8 weeks pregnant. So now that I'm like almost 12, I feel a lot better. One of the big things that I dealt with for like 3 weeks was nausea, all like on and off nausea all day long. I am very, very, very thankful that that has pretty much gone. I mean, my eating is all over the place. Like, I go from anywhere from wanting a good salad and veggies and chicken to really, really, really craving potato chips or some sort of, you know, salty snack. And that's another thing. So I don't have any major cravings for sweet stuff besides ice cream, but that is a normal thing for me, remember? So I'm still very much digging like my ice cream and my Skittles and my licorice. Those are Skittles, licorice, and ice cream are like my 3 sweet things that I always crave and always have craved, pregnant or not. So I don't have any extra sweets cravings. Salty stuff? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All I want is the salt. Give me the potato. I want to like lick the bag. I don't, but like that's how much I want salty stuff. And I usually always crave salty stuff, but I do feel like lately I have less self-control over it. And it's almost like I need it or I'm not gonna feel good. And that combined with the nausea and I guess maybe those 2 things alone, really, but those 2 things already seem so, like, such strong indicators or symptoms in this pregnancy that it makes me everything I've wanted, like even, oh, this was another interesting thing. So right when I was kind of starting to feel better and my nausea was going away, I started craving Subway. Like, woke up one day and was like, is there any way I can get Subway today? Like, I wanted a Subway sandwich so bad. And I have not had Subway yet. And let me tell you, it's pretty much, today is Tuesday. I am having Subway on Sunday, this coming weekend. And I cannot wait. Like, I've been dreaming about all the things that I'm going to put on this sandwich. I am getting a foot long. I cannot wait. I am so freaking excited for Subway. And the funny thing about that is, in my last pregnancy, I wanted the same thing at this point in my pregnancy too. Right when I was coming out of the nausea, all I could think about was Subway. And at that point I was working outside of the home, and now I work from home, but I was stopping at Subway, like, I think right away, like once it subsided, the nausea, I stopped at Subway twice in a week and had it for lunch. And let me tell you, if I had time, I'm like this close to having it delivered to my house, but like that seems excessive. So I'll wait till Sunday, but ooh, it sounds so good. I could like drool right now just thinking about like a big fat sub. So that's interesting, but all those things make me wonder if it's another boy, because it just seems like right now it's strangely identical to my second pregnancy with my boy versus my first with my girl. So other than that, I know I'm getting to like 10 minutes here already in the video. Other than that, not a whole lot. I've been sleeping well-ish. My big thing is some insomnia, and I would say maybe lately, like in the last week, it's gotten a little better, but like a couple weeks ago, like if I woke up at 2 or 3 in the morning, I could not get to sleep. I will sit awake for an hour, and it's draining and it's exhausting. And I will say I have not been good about getting to sleep at an early time. Like I'm just not being disciplined. I'm being lazy and stupid and staying up late and watching TV. And I told myself, like, well, tonight doesn't help because tonight I have a volleyball game. Actually, I have several volleyball games, and they're late ones, so I won't even, my last one starts at 9:15, I think. So I'm not even gonna be home until closer to 10:30, which means maybe 11 I'm falling asleep if I'm really quick about things. So that kind of sucks because tonight I'm not gonna get any sleep. But tomorrow my goal is to start being more disciplined with myself, and I need to be doing like a 9 o'clock bedtime. Even if it's only like a couple days a week, it will make a huge difference for me because, oh, I need my sleep. I need my sleep so much. So, but other than that, I feel good. My energy is definitely starting to increase. There were for sure some days with just mass exhaustion, and where I felt like I had been pulling all-nighters, or the way I would describe it to my husband, even combined with the nausea, I'm like, I just feel hungover all day. Like, you partied all night and you're so tired, but like you can't sleep, you know, because you have to work or you have to be up for something and be awake. And I don't miss that. That part is gone. The energy is coming back. I've been working out more. I had worked out like 7 days straight, and then I took off, and then we went up to the cabin, and so I didn't work out for 3 days, and I didn't feel too bad about that. And then I worked out again last night. Is Monday. Tonight I'll play volleyball, so that's kind of my workout tonight. So and then tomorrow we'll resume my other workout schedule. But I'm doing the 21-day fix workouts right now. I'm doing the 21-day fix real time. Those I had finished right when I got pregnant. I did 7 out of 8 weeks of Lift 4, and I don't know if you don't know what these are. They're Beachbody workouts. I'm a dedicated Beachbody member, and I did 7 out of 8 weeks, and then that 8th week, as I started to feel super sick and weak, and I just could not. It didn't matter what time. I mean, I'm working from home. I don't have all day flexibility to work out, but it was like I'd try to get up in the morning and do it, and I just could not. And then I would try to do it like midday when the kids were sleeping, and that wasn't working either. And then I would try to do it at night, and that absolutely wasn't happening. So I just needed to let my body rest and just chill and do what it needed to do to handle those pregnancy symptoms. But that was like 3 weeks off, and then I'm like, okay, I'm feeling better. So got back into my workouts, and I hope that I can kind of keep going with them. I don't see why not. But yeah, other than that, I feel good. I don't have any like weird cravings. I mainly am just craving my usual like yummy salty snacks. You know, I want potato chips and French onion dip, and that's par the course for me. So okay, so maybe I'm 12, maybe I'm about 12 weeks now, 13, 14. I will do an update after my first appointment, so I don't know exactly when that's gonna be or how far along in my pregnancy I'll be. We'll find out. I'll either be like 14 weeks or I'll be 16 or something else. We'll see what the appointment says, so I will update then.